I'll start. I'll start to say some words about myself, and then Raviv will talk. We'll chat with Rika, and we'll see what are the issues, what are the things that you will want to focus in. So I was born in kibbutz. Maybe some of you know what kibbutz is. Some kind of socialist, volunteering, democratic, socialist way of living. My kibbutz was founded by immigrants to Israel from South America. My parents came from Argentina originally, but while my mother was born in Argentina, my father was born in Germany, and he escaped just on time before World War II to South America. So they arrived like refugees to South America, and after 12 years, they made Aliyah, or immigrated to Israel with a youth movement, and they joined to the pioneers that founded kibbutz MIFFs. So I was born some 63 years ago in my kibbutz, very close to Gaza Strip. In the first 10 years, there were even no fence between us and Gaza. After the 6-day war, started another 30 years of quiet, friendly relationship with Gaza, but since 2000, a quite bad situation started between us and our neighbors. In 2002, I became the mayor of the regional council of my county, Sha'ar Hanegev, the gate of the Negev, and I stayed there for 3 cadences, 3 terms, 16 years. It was amazing years where, on one hand, we were targeted, challenged by the terror from Gaza Strip. On the other hand, we made some major changes in our way of life, in our kibbutzim, towards much more private type of life. Still, the kibbutzim and moshavim in Israel remain with a certain common organization which share the economic life in the kibbutz and the community, the social life, with some levels of solidarity between the members, the comrades of the kibbutz and the moshav. In the last year, I jumped to the political pool, and I joined the party which called Blue and White, with Chief of Staff in reserve, Benny Gantz, now the Minister of Defense, and the next Prime Minister of Israel. Now I'm in the Knesset, and I am the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development. I'm married to Lizzie, which is a therapist, social worker, second degree, work in the Resilience Center in Gaza envelope, around Gaza, in the Sderot city, and in our area, the Regional Council of Sha'ar Hanegev. We have four children, two of them young, still in the army, in infantiles, or how does it call, חיל רגלים? Okay, combat soldier. And I think I stop here, and through the chat with Raviv, you can ask the question. Maybe I can see the chat in the Zoom. Oh yes, I see. I just have to warn that in some minutes I will try to wait. I have to go up and vote in the parliament. So I can see here some question. Can you hear us? Not. I can hear you. I cannot hear you. But yes.
You can still not hear us? Can you hear us now?
Well, I was asked about biological treatments in agriculture, and the question was if Israeli companies would cooperate with Norwegian companies, and I think the answer is yes. I know that there is a very important trend of moving towards biological treatments instead of the traditional poison or chemicals, and I think it is one of the roads that we have to go in. We are very busy in the welfare of animals, family pets, family home animals like dog and cats, and animals of the like cows and sheep and so on. Okay. Many of our members have met you on tours along border Gaza, and we were always struck by the love and commitment to the Zionist dream that you related. Thank you. Yes, I'm what we call the second generation of Zionists pioneer, and you can see, you can understand that my life is in a way the fulfill the implementation of the dreams of the generation of my parents, who were born in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and they really wanted their kids that were born in the Israel, the independent Jewish democratic state, to understand and to believe and to assimilate their ideology and values in our life. Now, you know that one of the challenge that the second generation after the revolution, any revolution, and the Zionism was kind of revolution, a very dramatic revolution in the history of the world, and for sure in the history of the Jews. But the question is how the second generation, the people, the children that were born to the success, to the existing Israel, to a very high, relatively high standard of living, to a very high quality of life, how can we still understand what are the values, or how can we base our daily decisions, like in this house, in this parliament, knowing where we came to and where we are going to. And you know, the Jewish expression that you should always know where you come from, where you are going to, and the religious head, you have to know before whom you should give, who will be your judge. And I believe that we have to do the magic, live in current time, live in earth, both legs on earth, make our life modern, the best technology, and at the same time build what I would call a Jewish society that like Jews used to do all over the history, live in communities, live in a very high standard of solidarity. I'm living in a kibbutz, in a traditional kibbutz, where my salary is going to the common bucket. And I don't feel that I'm doing a stupid act. I think this is the right way to live, to share my richness, my sources with others, and I will get, and I'm getting from them what they can give me. So we should build here a society that respect each other, everyone, respect the different between people, the difference between the nations that are living here. We should build a state where, now listen carefully, where Muslims and Christians and Druze will be proud to live in. We should build our Jewish democratic state in a way that minorities would be proud to be part of this country. And this is a quite big challenge when you're talking about a country that should meet daily with tactical, strategical, and long-term threats from 4 or 5 frontiers. Some of them are very close to us. I'm talking about 1 kilometer from my home, and some of them are far away, hundreds or thousands kilometers from Israel. Okay. Another question?
3 שאלות, אתה תבחר.
אוקיי.
הראשונה, מה תהיה השפעת הסיפוח על החקלאים? שאלה שנייה, מה אנחנו בסקנדינביה יכולים לעשות כדי לקבל יותר תוצרת ישראלית בסופרים שלנו? שאלה שלישית, מה האתגר הכי גדול שעומד בפני החקלאים היום?
Okay, so the question was about agriculture, and the question was if the making or putting the sovereignty on the territories in the West Bank will influence on agriculture. The answer is not much. My point of view is that in the current time where we have to fight against the coronavirus, in the field of health, economy, and social issues, we don't have to put another problematic argument that will shake the stability of our area. But anyway, I don't think it will influence in a major way the issues of agriculture. Well, the agricultures in the Jordan Valley, which is actually in the West Bank, what they suffer is from lack of water. We don't have enough water to give them, and we should bring pipes with water for the Palestinians and for the Israelis that live in the West Bank. Now, I was asked how can we how can you have more fruits or vegetables or Israeli products in Scandinavia? I have the most diplomatic way to answer is that I have to discuss this question with with the correct department in my ministry, and I really don't know. I believe that there's an issue of our ability to compete with other countries. It's not easy. We have we deal with very high price of water in Israel. You know, most of the water has to be purified from sewage to irrigate water for irrigation, and of course we are producing a lot of water by the process of desalinization of seawater. So water is very expensive. The work salary is very high. The distance from Israel to North Europe is also a kind of barrier if we compare it to Spain or Morocco. But I think it's a great challenge. We should do it more. The last question was about what are the main challenges of agriculture in Israel. I believe the main challenge is to have a new generation of agricultures here in Israel. Unlike 100 years ago, where the most pioneers that came to Israel, or many of them came to be laborers in agriculture. And it long until maybe 20, 25, 30 years ago. Now, the young people in Moshavim, Kibbutzim, in the rural area, most of them wish to do other things, and we should give them the right push to stay in our areas around the border of Israel, in the periphery of Israel, and give them the right umbrella, economic umbrella, that will persuade them to stay, give them the right insurance for staying in agriculture, to replace their old parents in what they are doing, give them direct support like most of the EU used to do, and of course spend more and more, invest more and more in research and development. Those are the main issues. Of course, we deal with dozens and dozens of specific problems.
יש תגובה.
אני יכול לחכות? יש לי עוד זמן?
מישהו אומר, לדעתי הממשלה הנורווגית לא תומכת מספיק בישראל, אני מאוד מצטער על כך.
So, some of you is so sorry because the Norwegian government is not helping or supporting enough Israel. Well, let's hope things will change. We are here. I'm here in order to open hands, to cooperate, to show to both sides that we can even taking in account the distance between us, we share many common values, democratic values, humanitarian values, believing that Jews have the right to have their own country, and this right is coming with some duties. Of course, we have to defend our democracy, and as I told you, it is not easy in those tough times, especially when we're talking about a country that should deal all the time with conflict with our neighbors. Okay, my friends, my duty now is to say to you, thank you, to hope, to pray that our next meeting, which I would do lovely, will be soon, and I will have the ability to hear you, to thank Rika for the connection, and to go quickly to the votes that will start in some minutes. By the way, the laws that we are now voting for is related very much to the fight or the defense against the coronavirus. Thank you very much, my friends.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Rika. Bye.
Bye.